What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the new Holo Taco Rock Candy collection for summer 2024. We've got 7 brand new nail polishes all in the crushed hollow finish, which is a more subtle scattered hollow, and we've got a really beautiful rainbow of colors going on here. And what I was really excited about for these is that they all actually have a different colored shimmer running throughout as well. And if you know me, you know I love an interesting shimmer color, so I was really excited to try these. Now, if you haven't heard of Holo Taco before, they are a nail polish brand created by YouTuber Christine of Simply Nailogical, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So like I said, we've got 7 new polishes to go over today, and we do have a new white shimmer in the collection as well. I saw a lot of people were curious how it compared with their more recent Milky white shimmer, so I did do a comparison of that, but I actually found that it was a little bit more similar to another Holo Taco polish, so I'm gonna do a little comparison of all 3 at the end of the video. But yeah, I'll show you my swatches, then we can get into my thoughts on them, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. As with all of my swatch reviews, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Orly Bonder base coat. So I'm gonna go in kind of rainbow order here. It's not exactly a rainbow, but we do have most of the colors of the rainbow in here. This first shade is called Jam Session, and it is a super opaque red crushed hollow that has a pink shimmer running throughout. And as you can see, this one was almost a 1 coater on me. I was super impressed with that. I did end up needing a second coat to get that full coverage, but I love this combination of the base color and the shimmer. I think it's just so fun having that intense red matched with that neon kind of pink shimmer, and then we also get that subtle little touch of hollow sparkle running throughout. It's just a really perfect red. Next up we have the shade Sunshine Crush. Now this one is kind of somewhere between being a yellow and being an orange. I did think that it looked a little bit more orangey in the promo pictures, but on me this one definitely leans more on the yellow side. But again, we have that amazing crushed hollow formula that's pretty opaque, and then within it we've got this beautiful duochromy shimmer that shifts from this coppery orange into a bright yellow. So I love this shade. It definitely reminds me a lot of the really yellowy gold kind of shades that I love. So I feel like I could get away with wearing this one as kind of a metallic polish, and I do love that it's very opaque for a yellow. Next up we have the shade Sour Note, and this one was actually my favorite of the collection, and you'll see why once it hits full coverage, because this color is just eye-searing. I don't know quite how to describe it. It kind of has a little bit of like a neon vibe to it, but it's not a neon. It almost just feels like a green polish that has white in it just to make it a little bit brighter. So I don't know. I think it's really fun. It's this gorgeous apple green base color. And then we've got another duochromy shimmer that kind of shifts from this pink into copper into a golden yellow. So I really love that interesting shimmer. It's a little bit more subtle, but I think it ends up being a really interesting contrast. So I definitely love this one. It was a little bit more sheer in the first coat, but it still gave me perfect coverage in 2. Next up we have the shade Blue Rizzler, and I was super excited about this one because if you know me, you know that I love a blue with a purple shimmer in it, and I also happen to love a purple with a blue shimmer in it, and we got both in this collection. So I was super pleased with that. But this one is a almost primary blue base color, and then within it we've got that iridescent shimmer again that looks kind of purpley pink head on, but around the edges I actually see a lot of this coppery color as well. And then of course, as they all do, this one has the crushed hollow. So it's just a really fun bright shade. I feel like I could see this one being a very good wintry color, but I could also make it work for any time of year because it's just that primary blue. And then we have the shade Electric Sweetener, and this one is just a stunning purple. I love this color of purple. It's just so light and bright, but it's also still very vivid and saturated. And then within it we've got this gorgeous blue shimmer running throughout, and I just love that contrast between the base color and the shimmer. I found that this one leaned a little bit warm toned on me, but then we have that cool tone shimmer, which I think is so cool. Now this one I would say was a little bit less opaque than the others. I did get full coverage in 2 coats on my short nails, but if you have longer nails you might need a third for this one. Honestly, I do think it's worth it though, because this is a really gorgeous shade. And then we have the shade Pop Rocker, and this one is a pink crushed hollow, and then within it we've got this purpley iridescent shimmer running throughout. And this is another one that has that really nice contrast between a warm base and a cool shimmer, because this pink color leans actually a little bit into that salmon kind of pink. So it's a very warm toned pink, and then we've got that very cool toned shimmer. So again, I just love that contrast. I think it's so vibrant and fun. And then of course we also get that hollow running throughout. That's really gorgeous. And again, perfect coverage in 2 coats on this one. And lastly, we have the anomaly of the collection. This is Sugar Rush, and this one is actually a very slightly gray white shimmer. So we've got that crushed hollow formula, but then within it we also have a duochrome iridescent shimmer that shifts from kind of this coppery orange color into yellow, but at some angles you can also see a little bit of green. So I started off with 2 coats for this one, but I did end up needing a third for full coverage on my nail length, and I don't think that's too surprising. I think with lighter shades like this it can be difficult to get that full coverage in 2 coats, but I thought this was a really pretty shade. I like that slight grayness to it, and I actually thought it was a really interesting choice. Now, I did see a lot of people were curious how it looked next to the Milky White shimmer that recently came out. I actually found it to be more similar to Featured Guest, which is an older linear hollow gray that they have. So I'm just going to show you all 3 of them. Milky White shimmer on the left, Sugar Rush, the new shade, is in the middle, and then we've got Featured Guest on the right. So honestly, I mean, I'm a nail polish addict, so I think they're different enough to warrant owning all of them. But I will say, out of the 3, if you're just going to choose one, my favorite formula was the Sugar Rush. They're all 3 coaters on me. They are a little bit lighter, but I did find that that one applied the nicest for me. So this is the one I would recommend. And here are all the polishes together. I will say, I don't think that this collage does the polishes justice, because when they're not all lined up side by side, I feel like it's harder to see how pretty they look next to each other. But I do think that this set could offer a lot of really beautiful options of wearing multiple colors together. We do have all of those like kind of bright primary kind of colors on the top row. I mean, we do have the green, which is a secondary color, but I still feel like it has that kind of primary color vibe to it. And then we've got the pink and purple and white on the bottom row, but I actually think that it would be really fun to do not quite rainbow Skittles, but doing like the pink, purple, blue, and red together, and then maybe with like the white on the thumb, or just like interesting color combos like that, I think would work really well for this set. But of course you can really wear them whatever way you want, and I think they look really pretty on their own. I also really love to see them expand their color library of crushed hollow polishes. It's definitely one of my favorite formulas of theirs, and I would really love to see more of them. So definitely pleased to get some really bright fun colors, because I feel like so far we've mostly gotten a lot of neutrals, so this is definitely a fun color combo to have. So those are the polishes, and honestly I am really into them. I think that the formulas are amazing. I love the crushed hollow formula. It's definitely more on the subtle side as far as actual holographic pigment, but I really do think it's very fun. It's really smooth, and a lot of times it's just super opaque. So I get really excited when they do new polishes in this formula, because I personally think it's amazing. And I also love this rainbow of colors. Some of the shades were just so vibrant and in your face. I think they would be so beautiful together, but I also think they'd just be really pretty on their own. And I'm also just really pleased that this collection was a win for me. I feel like the last couple of collections have been a little hit or miss with Holo Taco for me. So I'm just really happy to see a formula I love, a color story I love. I think they did a really incredible job here. Now, as far as pricing and availability, all of these polishes are available on the Holo Taco website. They come in 12 milliliter bottles, and they do feature the wide flat brush that has the rounded tip, which I personally love. I think it makes application super easy, and all of the polishes retail for $14 USD each. So I'm going to link that down in the description. You can check it out if you're interested, but I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this collection? What do you think of that white shimmer? And what do you think of the crushed hollow formula in general? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Ken, Rosie, and Angel. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Kelly Marie, and Kelly Marie wants to know if you could wear only one type of nail polish, like cream, jelly, shimmer, etc., for the rest of your life, which type would you choose and why? That's a great question. I've actually answered this one before, but my answer has changed since I have answered this, so I thought it would be fun to do it again. In the past, I have always said that if I could only choose one finish, I think it would be a cream finish, just because I feel like that is just such a classic, and I know I'll never get sick of a cream finish, which is ironic because, like I said, my answer has changed. I think now I would probably choose a shimmer, just because if I had to wear that finish for the rest of my life, I don't know when I'm going to like ding my nail polish or when I'm gonna break a nail, or maybe, I don't know, something could be wrong. And I feel like shimmers are a lot more forgiving when it comes to like any inconsistencies or imperfections in your nail. If I had to choose just one, I do think it would be shimmers, just in case I need to cover anything up, you know? I actually, funny enough, I have some issues going on with my toenails right now. Nothing crazy, but one of my toes I did drop a piece of furniture on, so I have like a huge bruise under it. And then on my other foot, I accidentally got hair dye on my actual toenail and it did stain. And I feel like on both of my feet, I really need to have something that fully covers up and like hides the bruising and also like the little damage to my nail plate that I have. So I've been wearing shimmers on my toes a lot, and I feel like that made me think about it. It made me realize that I really should consider having shimmers for the rest of my life. But thankfully, I don't have to choose, which is amazing because I love every finish. But if you want to answer the fun fact question, what nail polish finish would you choose for your nails? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.